Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So today in this video we're going to take a look at this 4-shelf rack from Amazon Basics, and this came in this big box. A total gross weight was about 11.35 kg, but on the website it said this was supposed to be about 18 kgs. So I'm not sure whether anything missing or not, but the one that I've got is this one, 4-shelf wire rack with 3-inch casters. So I bought the one that came with wheels. Now this unit was launched about 6 or 7 years ago, and since then I've had my eyes on this one but never really got to purchase one. I've seen a couple of videos and the quality was really nice, but recently I read a couple of reviews and people saying that back then when they bought the same unit the quality was really nice, but now when people have bought this the quality seems to have been reduced. So I'm not sure whether that is the case or not because I don't have any other rack to compare it with. Anyways, this is how I got in the packaging, and these are the content of the box. So you can see we're supposed to get about 8 number of poles, 4 wire shelves, 16 plastic clips which will hold the shelf in place on the poles, and finally we will get 4 number of wheels, 3-inch size wheels that I got in there. So let's just open the box and see whether I've got the complete packaging or not, because I've read a couple of reviews that said that some of the parts were missing and they were not able to install it properly. So as you can see on this side there is no way to open it, so I'm going to flip this, cut the package open, and then we'll come back. Right, so as you can see I've opened the box. Let's open it and see whether we've got everything inside there or not. So by the look of the box we can see that the box is not bent from anywhere, because I read a couple of reviews. People said that some of the shelf when they received the package were bent, but if I look at the condition of the box is not bent, so I'm pretty sure everything inside should be in good condition. So here it is. So you can see none of the shelves are bent. Everything is tied together with some cable type, so the packaging is really nice. We've also got these small foam packs, and here is my 3-inch casters. So the casters are also decent big size, not flimsy ones, and you can see the thickness of the pipe here. So let me just take everything out and then we'll take a look at each component one by one. Okay guys, so I've got one shelf out, and as you can see the wire seems a little flimsy, but if I put pressure from the top it seems to be holding up just fine. So there is that. So here I've got my 16 clips. There's a different colored packaging in there. You will see what is, maybe it's an extra clip if in case you break one of these. So you've got an instruction manual, and this is the one that I've got. So there is that. Here is my wheels. I've undone the cable tie because I want to reuse the cable tie, so I basically use a screwdriver to release the lock of the cable tie. We'll be able to reuse it again for some other project. And these are the Castor wheels. As you can see they feel heavy. The quality seems really nice. So as you can see, decent size wheel compared to my hand, and feels very strong. So there is that, and each shelf was separated with these plastic caps, and these are the poles, 4 number of poles, 4 legs, and you get both. You have the option of whether using the feet were already installed, as you can see there, and if you want to replace them with the wheels you can do that. So in the beginning I'm going to be setting this up with the wheels, and then if I in future I want to put this in a place where I would no longer be needing to move this, then I will replace it with these feet again. Alright guys, I've got everything open. I've got all the poles, the racks, and let's just open these small packets and see what this is all about. We'll also see what that different yellow colored packaging is all about. So let us start with the casters. So I'm going to put the packaging for the caster. There we go. So as you can see this is how the caster looks, fairly strong. So I've got 2 casters here which are without any brakes, and we've got other 2 which comes with the brake. So as you can see at the moment the caster is rotating. If I press it down, the caster is locked. Again the same size, and the size is also mentioned here, as you can see here. So there is that, all in good condition. Again another caster with the brakes, rotates. If I push the brake up, it doesn't rotate. And finally we get a small flat style spanner which will be used to tighten the screw here. Now let us take a look at the small packet that we got here. Nice. So look like we got all the plastic clips individually packed, so you don't have to go through a bunch of these. So you can simply take one packet out, set up a single shelf. So we got 4 shelves, so we should have at least 4 such packets. So 1, I don't know what this is about, but 2, 3 and 4. So these are our 16 pieces of plastic clips. And finally, looks like in this yellow packet we are giving an extra, they've given us an extra clip if we happen to break one, and each of the clip is labeled as top, so you'll know in which direction to put them. So there is that. So let's keep it aside and let's take a look at what this is about. So looks like this is about for securing the shelf to a wall. So if you want to secure the shelf to a wall so that it doesn't move around, you can do that. It looks like it comes with a small metal hinge there, which you can screw with these screw things. Now if you take a look at the bottom 4 poles, you will see that the bottom 4 poles come with these feet pre-installed, but as I told you in the beginning that I will be installing the casters. So all you have to do to remove these feet is basically unscrew them, and it should be very easy. You can do this by hand. So once the bottom feet is out, you can store them for later use. And then I'm going to take one caster. I'm going to simply start screwing it down. Keep rotating it, and at times you can use the wheel to screw in, but you will see that at this moment only the wheel is rotating, the top part is not rotating. So make sure you hold this top part and you rotate that part also. So I'm going to rotate that part. It's easier to hold this part in the left hand and then simply keep rotating the pole from your right hand. And once you reach at the top, and if there is any more looseness there, you can use the spanner, provided spanner, to tighten this up a little bit. So that's one pole done. Let me do another one with the brake here. So I've got another pole again. First we have to do is remove the stationary feet. Once they're out, make sure you keep them safe so that if in future you want to use them, you can use them. Take your wheel, start screwing that into the pole. Keep rotating it. Again, switch your hand and hold this part, because if you keep rotating the wheel, you will see that only the wheel part is rotating, but the top part to which the bolt is attached is not rotating. So hold this part and then use your other hand to rotate the pole, and you will see that it is much easier to screw that way. Again, hand tight should be good enough, but if you still feel a little uneasy, you can use the spanner to give this a little jerk, and that should be good enough. Okay, so as you can see, I've installed all the wheels. Now let us install our clips. So take one such packet, open it. I'm going to use my scissor here. Let's take the clips out. So as you can see, this is how the clips look. Each clip is identical to each other. The left one is similar to the right one, so there is no difference between the two. You can use this one on the left side, this one on right side. If you flip it, you will see they are exactly the same. So there is no question of using them in a different orientation. The only thing you have to make sure is that it says top, so this part has to go upside. And you will also see that if you take a look at the clips, you will see that it is a little tapered at the top and a little wider at the top, and which is what is essentially hold your shelf on top of these poles. So I'm going to start by counting 3, marking 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to install it on the third one on each bottom wheel. So I'm going to take one here, and as you can see, there is this small plastic ridge there, which is what gets fit in there. So I've got one here. I'm going to take one of the left side. Again, as you can see, I'm facing the top. I'm going to take this one. Right, so I've got one installed. So let me pick another one. Again, we will do the same, count 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to install it somewhere here. As you can see, this plastic ridge on there should fit one of these grooves. So again, I'm going to put it here. And on the internet, people were talking about that you should hear a click, but I didn't hear a click. So let me try again. So I did hear a click this time, but if you install the second one, there is no such click sound. Again, make sure that it is facing the top. So the wheel should go down and the top arrow should face up. Aligned with the other pole, you can see that the distance between the two poles is same. You can count the 3 rings, 1, 2, 3, and then we've got our plastic clip. So I'm going to do the same with the other two legs. Alright guys, so we've got one shelf here, and most people would think that this side should go up. So most people would try to put it like this because we've got this border which will prevent our things from falling over, but that is not the correct way. Instead, the border should be facing down. Now the easiest ways to install the poles is going to be, first take the two casters, pole without any brakes. So I'm going to have this one without any brakes, and as you can see, this is tapered at the top, this is wider at the bottom. Simply take your pole, insert one there, and as you can see, it will keep going, and it should stop right where you installed your clips, right there, as you can see there. So that's one side installed. I'm going to install the back wheel now, and at the back I want brakes, so I'm going to install the back side with the brake. Again, insert it through there, and you will see that at where you install the plastic part should stop it from going anywhere. And as you can see, this is how it looks at the moment. Again, I'm going to do the same thing with the left hand side. I want the front to have the wheels without any brakes, so I'm going to again bring this here, insert my pole in there, and as you can see where this plastic part, this should hold it together. So it's done now, and finally we've got the bottom last one, and that I want with the brakes. So I've got the Castor pole with the brakes. I'm going to install it there. Simply insert it through there, and these plastic parts should hold it together. Okay guys, so now let us install the clips for the second shelf from the bottom. So again, I've got my clips here. Okay, so now that we've got all the four plastic clamps installed, all we have to do is simply drop in another shelf from the top, and it should fit in right there. So let's pick one shelf up. As you can see, all the shelves are also marked, so this should go like that. All we have to do is simply align it. That's one, and that's done as well. So as you can see, we've got our second shelf done. Hit it from the top a couple of times, make sure it is completely in. So that's our second shelf done, and as you can see, still very easy to maneuver and move around. Now one thing I want to say at this point of time is that the shelves are not that confidence inspiring. So they are a little flimsy. As you can see, when I'm putting my hands on top of them with a little bit of weight, they are bending a little bit. You can see, very easy to bend. So not the most strongest shelf available, but they are very lightweight. So if you're somebody who lives on a rent, who quickly needs something to put organize your stuff, this is something that you can really look at. It's very easy to carry. Once folded up, a single person can easily move it around. So very good for people who keeps on moving around from places to places. Alright guys, so now that our bottom two racks are on, let me show you how to attach the top pole on these holes. So here are the top three poles. I've already installed one, so let me show you how to do that. So as you can see, each pole comes with pre-threaded markings. So each pole is pre-threaded, and as you can see, the pipe is also threaded from there. So all you have to do is simply align this and start rotating the pole in the clockwise direction, and you can use your hand. You don't need any tools for it. And once you reach at the bottom, you will see that the bottom pole starts rotating, which we do not want. So make sure you at the end you hold the bottom pipe and then tighten the top pipe. So let me just do that. And as you can see, that these are very well threaded, so you will not have any problem of misalignment. I've read a couple of reviews, people saying that things were misaligned and a little bit bent. I do have to say that some of the wires are a little bit bent, but not that I can't make use of. Anyways, so that's tight enough. Alright guys, so I've finally assembled the shelf. Only the last shelf is left. As you can see, I've installed the connector here. So let me just pick the last shelf, and because everything is now aligned, the last shelf should be very easy to put. So as you can see, the top part is a little smaller and the bottom part is a little big, and that's how it should go in. So let me align the front part. The back is aligned, this part is aligned, and this part is also aligned. Once it is aligned, simply push this down, and it's still very maneuverable. I can rotate it, I can push it back, bring it forward, so very easy to move around. And now let me give you a little close-up now that we can see everything as a whole. So in the beginning of the video I said that nothing was bent, but you can clearly see that there is a little bit of bend at the back there, and so there is a little bit of indent there, very visible, but still I was able to align this up without any problem. Other problems, this is not really a problem, that's not a problem, but the wire quality that they've used is a little thin. The poles are very nice, everything is very sturdy. It's just that the shelves themselves are not made very strong. The other improvement that could have been done was that instead of using the thin wire in the horizontal way, they could have easily used these thick wires in the horizontal position as well. That would have made the whole rack really stable and much more stronger than what it is now. Overall, the assembling was not that difficult, so for assembling I would give this absolutely full marks. For the flimsiness and the build quality, maybe not that much. Alright guys, I've put this shelf together and I've put a couple of stuff that I will be using this shelf for. So as you can see, this is how the shelf look after completely assembling. A little flimsy though, but for my purpose it will work just fine. And if you take a look at the weight capacity, you can see we're using the shelf with the wheels. And they say if you're using the shelf with the wheels, the maximum load it can carry is 200 kg, but for a single shelf it can carry about a little shy of 50 kg, which is 49.9 kilograms. Now in this case, let's take this shelf for example. I've got this 1 feet cube tank. After filling this up with water, including the weight of the glass, the weight almost reaches about 30 kg, and on this single shelf I'll be putting two such containers. So this should not max out, but almost max out this particular shelf. So this will work for me, and that's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to be setting up one more tank here with two such containers. At the moment I've just quickly put together the height. As you can see, I'm not able to insert my hand properly, so I will make some changes with my height, with the shelf height, and hopefully after I've done that, everything should just work out. The other thing I want to mention here is that I don't know what you will find on the website or on the packaging, but let's just quickly measure the exact size of the shelf so that if you're buying the shelf, you will have an exact idea what to accept when it comes to measurement. So I've got a tape measure here. I'm going to start from here. Let's extend it. So you can see we're reaching about almost 3 feet mark, but it's not exact 3 feet, it's a little shy of 3 feet, so we can say almost 90 centimeters or 91 centimeters, a little less than that. I would go with 90 centimeters, just a finger shy of 3 feet mark. And if we talk about the width, so let's measure the width at the bottom. So starting from there to there, you can see the width is about 35 centimeter, or a little shy of, again, almost a finger shy of 14 inch. And finally, let's measure the height of the unit. So let me attach my tape measure at the bottom, extend it to the top. So you can see we're almost reaching 57 inch mark, or 145 centimeters. I've got a small magnet here, so if you're curious whether the rack is magnetic or not, I've got some neodymium magnet. The rack is definitely magnetic. It's a little flimsy if you're looking for something a little more sturdy and heavy duty. I don't think this is something that you should go for, and I don't even have an answer for something like that. If you find something that is a little stronger, much stronger than this one, then do put that in the comment section. I will check that out as well. Anyways, that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.